Hey guys, I'm Mindie Kniss, and I'm here with my friend Peter Scott.
Hi guys.
Peter and I were talking last night, and he is an awesome guy who has really big ideas about what he wants to do with his life. And so a lot of times when we're hanging out and talking, it's reminding me of clients, because as many of you may know, I work with a lot of people who come in and they're trying to figure out what in the heck should I do with my life? What is my life purpose? And then once I figure that out, how do I put that out there into the world? How do I do what I'm attempting to do, or give this idea a voice? So Peter, like I said, has so many great ideas, and he was talking about starting a blog, but I was kind of like, hey, well, do you know how to do that, or what's your experience in that? And he was like, I have no idea. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity to make a quick video for you, because that's the same lame-ass excuse that I hear from a lot of my clients that say, oh, I would love to do this and put this out there, but I don't know how to do that, or I don't know about how to make a website. So we're going to go through and create the quickest, shortest, most easy way to get this done. So have you ever built a website or a blog?
Never.
Okay.
Not once.
So totally fresh, and that's where we're starting from. So if that's you, you can follow along with the steps that we're going to show you. And in this, we'll be able to do screen capture as well. So you're going to see exactly what he's doing as he does it, and then you'll be able to create your own blog or your own website for you. So tell me a little bit about what you want to create. What's the idea that you want to put onto this online?
Okay. And just so you guys know the gravity of my procrastination, I've wanted to have my own blog for 3 years now.
Okay.
Literally 3
Perfect.
years.
I'm so glad we're doing this.
And my excuse, as you said, lame-ass excuse has always been, well, I don't know how to put together a blog. I don't want to figure it out, and it's too much work, and I don't know how to write code and all these things, right?
Okay.
That are nothing but excuses.
Yes.
And so what I want to do is create a snapshot and a way to capture really the lifestyle that I'm living. With what I do, I'm a lifestyle consultant. I coach entrepreneurs on designing a blueprint for their ideal life through a program called Lifebook, and I really rely heavily on Facebook to do that. And what would be a lot better is if I actually created my own blog so that I had people coming to me rather than pushing notifications through Facebook.
Yeah, just as a side note to that exact point, he and I were talking the other day, and I said, well, you know, what happens then if Facebook tomorrow goes away? Or tomorrow they decide to start charging all the people $5,000 a month to be part of it. Well, then what? What do you do with all that content and all that stuff that you've put out there that ultimately still belongs to them? Having your own website is a much better way to go about it, because then it's really under your control. Now, what we are going to do this evening is create through WordPress.com. So in some ways, it is still on WordPress. It's not self-hosted, because you, maybe like Peter, as a beginner, I think that's the easiest, most clean way to do it, because it just gives you all the stuff that you need, and it's very simple. So that's what we're going to do, but just wanted to point out that differentiation. You can also upgrade, and I'll show Peter how to do this as well, is to upgrade eventually to your own self-hosted website with your own domain name and all that type of stuff. But let's get started for now. So the screen that we're at right now is WordPress.com. And I have logged out of this, so we'll have you create an account.
Okay.
So get started.
Just create blog, free.
Yeah.
Okay. Give her a sign for WordPress.
Okay, at this point, as you can see, we are at the very beginning to set up your blog. So for now, we're going to use a lot of just test words and ideas. You can always go back and change it, so nothing is permanent, which is great. For a blog title, what would you like to call your blog title?
Let's say Personal Development Adventures.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, and then your tagline can be, advice from Peter Scott, or whatever it is that you'd like it to be.
Okay.
All right, cool. Next step.
Okay.
Now, choosing a theme can be a very tedious process. We're going to choose a very basic theme for now, and you or Peter can go back and change it at any point in time. Really what you're looking for on your theme is you want to present your content in the best way possible, in the easiest and most simple way for people to consume your content. So if you kind of scroll through here, you can see a few of the different varieties. Now, is your blog going to be a lot of photos, or is it going to be mostly words, or what type of things, or video? What kinds of ideas do you have?
I'll be using a lot of photos and a lot of video.
Okay. So pretty much any blog will be great for that. Some of the blogs are set up for specific things like photography. So they're just going to show you these nice gallery presentations where you can get really big images. So that's nice. For now, we'll just pick a basic one. I'm looking for, let's see, show more. And if any of these appeal to you that you're like, oh, that one looks good, you can go through. Now, some of them are going to be paid themes. That's called a premium theme.
Okay.
But most of them on WordPress.com are free.
Is there any purpose to the names? That's just for the
Not necessarily. Some of them.
categorization?
I mean, this one, like Soundcheck, is designed for musicians, but most of them.
Like that. Oh,
Okay, that one's a
yeah.
premium. This is a very basic one that a lot of people use. It's called 2011. I think it's good because it has a lot of functionality. So we could start with that one if you'd
Okay.
like.
Yeah, let's do that.
So this is just telling you all of this information about it. You can customize. So you got your site title here, advice from Peter Scott, little search thing here, and it's like, oh, there's nothing
No
here
content.
yet.
Okay.
It gives you a fake about page just so you can fill it in with some information. So that's what it'll look like, and you'll put in your own content there. So let me show you how to do that.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna just do a text for the first post, and you can either title it like sample post or, test. Yay!
Only took me 3 years, guys.
Okay, and something that's really important, tags. You may want to put in, this is another way to call this is keywords, and this is what search engines look for to say, hey, what the heck is this content about? So for you, personal development is a great keyword.
Does it matter if it's capitalized or not? Okay.
No, I always do everything undercase, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can go to publish post.
Okay. And I can obviously go back and edit these posts?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can edit them, delete them, put them back to draft status if you just want them not to be public.
Okay. Did that publish?
So say finish down here.
There it is.
All right. So let's go in and make this a little bit better looking,
Okay.
just to have some fun. Let me show you some where you'll go. Under My Blogs is where you can always find the list of things that you have going on.
Okay.
So to get to your blog admin, which is the most important thing, you click right here. And this is your like basic dashboard. So this is always where you're going to come to do posts, make pages, do everything, approve comments, anything that comes up is always going to be here. So for instance, posts are here. Your first sample post is right there. And if you ever want to view your site, you just go up here.
I was just going to ask that.
So, personal development adventures. There's your first sample post, posted today. Here's your tags. Let's talk a little bit about categories. Categories is kind of like a chapter in a book. If you're thinking, oh, I want to read about personal growth today, I'm going to flip to this chapter. You could make a category called personal growth. For you...
So let's say I do a post on health and fitness. I could do health and fitness.
That would
I could
be a
do
category.
Financial life. I could do
Totally.
relationships.
You could actually make a category for each of the aspects of life based on Life Book, 12 principles. So that would be a great way for you to just organize your content. It helps you know where all your stuff is, and it helps your readers look for exactly what they're going to want to read about. So that is awesome to know about. And let's go back and do just put a little information in your About page. So we go back to your dashboard here.
Okay.
So the thing you want to check out, posts and pages are going to be your top two things that you have going on. So you already put a sample post in.
What's a page?
A page is like the About page.
Okay.
You may also want to put in a contact page. You may also want to put in a page that says frequently asked questions or work with me. You know, if somebody wants to hire you as their coach, you can tell them about that and what it would take to get that started. But for now, let's go to About. And since this is just their sample stuff,
just
delete that, and you can just create another little sample thing.
Good.
Awesome. So then update here is the key thing you want to always make sure you're doing.
Okay. Page updated.
Okay. And from this, you can also go to View Page here if you want to just see what it looks like. It'll take you right to it.
Okay.
So there you go. You can always turn on or off these sharing things, the like, and if you want the comments on or off. A lot of people don't use comments on their pages because it's just a static thing. It's like, hey, this is what my company is about, or this is what I'm about. So often people, they may or may not use those depending on what they're wanting. But definitely on posts, you want to engage your reader. You want to ask questions of them and have them comment and have them respond, and also obviously have them share on Facebook and Twitter and other social media, because that brings more people to your site. So essentially, this is what your website URL is right now. peterscott.wordpress.com, and when you're ready, we'll actually upgrade that to when you choose what you want your domain to be, we'll upgrade that to a domain, so then your domain will just show this.
Okay.
One other thing I want to show you is in this appearance section, you can always choose different themes. You can actually see what your content would look like in any of these different themes. So let's say you're like, oh, superhero, that sounds awesome. You can do what's called a live preview. See, it shows your sample post, what the layout would look like, and also we can change all that stuff. You can put in different, what are called widgets, which are the side kind of tools, you can think of them as. But you can change colors, the front, the site title, all from this. Because maybe, let's say you, and we'll just do this as a sample, you're like, oh, that looks kind of bad because it's too long. So I want to change my site title and just call it, for now, personal development. So cool, I can see what that looks like. I like that a lot better because it's short and concise. Bam. And then if we activate it, that saves it, and now that is what will show up when people go to your site. And as you can see, this person has a picture that they took that is customized for the header, and you can add all that stuff to make it prettier, make it, you know, your style.
Okay.
But there's tons of themes, so you can always go through and play and decide which one is going to be best suited for you and your content. Well, do you have any questions?
No, this is a lot simpler than I expected, to be totally honest.
Yes, it's so easy.
If you guys want to do this, literally after you watch this video, create a blog. It's really simple. So the fact that it took me 3 years is embarrassing. But thank you, Mindie, for helping me with this.
Thank you for being vulnerable enough to say, wow, I've been waiting 3 years and this was very easy. Yeah. So that's really the point of this video, is for us to sit here, do this in a few minutes, and to showcase that it really is very, very simple. So stop waiting, stop procrastinating, and stop making the excuse of, I don't know how to build a blog. You can get in there and you can play. And of course, I don't know everything about WordPress, but I certainly am always interested in just getting in and trying it and seeing what happens and then learning as I go. So it's going to be a process. And if you have questions, there are tons of free resources online even. You can always Google, you know, how do I do such and such in WordPress? And there are so many support forums and help groups that you'll be able to find the answers relatively easily. So I'm just trying to think if there's any last, like for instance, let me just show you widgets.
Okay.
Because that's kind of an important thing. This is the field where you are gonna, this is all the options of widgets, like what's available to you. And your sidebar, which is the little right-hand part. So your posts are here and your sidebar is here.
Okay.
That's where they're going to go. So maybe...
But is that also the archive where they see different months to read articles and different tags?
So here's the different options, like calendar. There's also archives. So let's say you want the archives over there. Some people don't like them in there, but so you just take it and you drag it over. And you can title it archives or recent posts or anything else.
Okay.
And then you can choose. Do you want it as a drop-down menu? Which is kind of nice because then you don't have this
long,
ongoing list of everything.
And then just hit save?
Yep.
What does visibility do?
Try it. Okay. That's giving you more alternatives.
That's right, okay.
Based on only show this category or don't show that category.
Okay. I'll just save
right
it
now,
as is.
Yeah, you don't have any categories, so.
Okay.
Okay, so that's saved.
Close.
Yep, and that'll just bring it back up there. That's kind of weird, but whatever. And then let's put another one in just for, let's put in a Facebook like box. I was just going to say that, yep. That's a good one for social media. Let's put it right underneath your archives. And then you'll just link it. Do you have a page or a profile on?
I have a profile.
Okay, so that's not going to work because this is specifically for pages. You should get a page, by the way.
Okay.
Start that up.
Okay, I will do that.
So let's get rid of that for now. Delete that. Maybe you want to put a picture of yourself there. You could drag an image. You could put a listing of your pages. You could put recent comments if you want to showcase other things. You can, I mean, there's tons of stuff in here, so you can just kind of look through and see what you want. If you want random text, like, hey, my name's Peter Scott, thanks so much for visiting my site. You can do that. You can put your Twitter feed. You have that. So let's
I was going to ask about that. So I want to share this with, via social media with a lot of my network. Are there social media buttons that come on here standard, or is that something manually that I need to create and customize?
Well, what this widget will actually show your recent tweets. So it'll kind of give a listing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It'll say like, tweet at Peter Scott or whatever your handle is. And then it'll show, you can list like, do I want to show 3 tweets, 10 tweets, whatever. So people can kind of see what you tweet about, which is interesting to people to know. And then they can follow you right there. You can actually put this display follow button. So they'll just click it right from your site. But to your question, it does come standard, and you can turn it on or you can turn it off, and that's called sharing.
Okay.
So having the sharing on, which when we looked at your sample post, it had the sharing options on the bottom, which is great. So most of the time, it's going to be on, and you can turn it off if and when you want to.
Okay.
You can also customize that, which I'll show you later.
Okay.
So for now, let's put in your Twitter username.
Okay.
And then I usually put something like follow me on Twitter or tweet me or whatever you want to say in there.
Okay.
Okay, and then you want 5?
5 is good.
That's
Yep.
fine. You definitely want to display your follow button. I usually hide replies because if they're not in the conversation, they don't need to see all that.
Yep.
And I also hide these publicized things because I don't like that. Do you want to include retweets? Doesn't really matter.
No.
Okay. So we'll save that. And let's just take a look, see what it looks like.
Okay.
So you got your recent posts.
Yep.
You can have a drop down, and that would show each month of archive. You have follow me on Twitter. You've got your recent tweets, and a button here to follow
Very
you,
nice.
which is not highlighted because I already follow you.
Okay.
So back to the dashboard again.
One question I have about the dashboard.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how many people. Is there a way to look at stats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Site stats.
Yes.
Okay, 0. Most of the time, this will be a little bar graph.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to see. Not only will you be able to see your numbers, this refer shows you where they're coming from.
Okay.
Did somebody open an email from you and click in? Did somebody click from Facebook and come?
Got it.
Did somebody click from Google search and come? This will show you your search engine terms. What are they searching to arrive at your site? Your total, all these different things. Shares, followers, the top posts and pages means which ones are great, and even where people are clicking, which is awesome for marketing purposes and business purposes because you can actually test different things. Let's say you end all of your posts in a certain way, like, click hire me if you want to work with me or something like that, and nobody's clicking. And then you go through and change maybe one word, and you're like, if you'd like to have an awesome lifestyle, click here. And then everybody's like, click, click, click.
Totally.
And then you can actually see what they're clicking on, which is very, very helpful for content. Let me just go through this side menu really quickly.
Okay.
And then I think whatever questions you have, but then we'll call it good.
Okay.
So you only have one blog now, so that's easy. The store is where you are going to eventually, once you decide on your domain, you can actually buy domains directly through WordPress.com, which I recommend, especially as a newer user, because it's seamless. It's easy. They do all the work for you. So that would be my suggestion. If you're a little bit more advanced and you want to do hosting somewhere else, or if you want to have your domain buy it somewhere else, then you can target it to this site and all these other things. But this is the simplest, easiest way to do it because WordPress.com takes care of all the details for you. So your posts are always here. You can always click all posts to get the full listing of them. Categories is going to be important. You're going to want to go in sooner than later and create some categories. And then every time you write a post, you'll select you'll put in your tags, and then also right in that same area on the right side of the screen, you'll select which category it goes in. So whatever you're writing about, fitness, bam, fitness category.
Can I put posts under multiple categories?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
As many as you want.
Okay.
And actually, you will kind of create, I forget what the WordPress calls it, but like a default category. So let's say you forget to put in categories. I think on mine, my default is advice. So if I don't put any category in, it's going to call it advice. Okay. So it's just something generic. Okay. Media is where all of your photos, any kind of upload type stuff that you're doing is going to live or
And
exist.
I can put video on here too, right?
Video is actually an upgrade, so there's a slight fee for that. This I don't really use. Pages, again, are just the pages of your site, like about, etc. When somebody makes a comment on your site, you can set up how you want that to be handled. Sometimes it just shows up right away. For me personally, I like to approve the comments on my site. I think of my site as my house, so I can set up to say, anytime you put in a comment, I need to be the approver first and foremost.
Okay.
So this is where you would come to do that and to look at those types of things. Appearance, again, the most important thing there is the theme. Widgets, of course, are huge. Getting your header, that's where you can put a photo or picture or image on the top and make it really personalized to you. And menus are if you want to create some kind of customized menu as opposed to just using your standard pages, but that's, you know, we don't need to worry about that yet. I don't think you need to worry about that yet. That you definitely don't need. And settings is where you're going to fill in a lot of your general information and make the choices about your blog in terms of how you want it to run. Okay. So my suggestion for everybody is literally just to go through every single one of these settings. Go to general, go to writing, go to reading, go to discussion. Look through your options and select which one makes sense for you and for your business and for your site, because who knows, it's all customizable. So that is it in a nutshell.
One question I have, and again, just knowing myself and how it took me 3 years to get this far. So now that I have my blog, I don't have much content on it yet. Right. When is a good time, and is there a rule of thumb when it comes to when I should make it public? Should I create a few posts? Should I, you know, with just one post, is it too early? There's not enough content on it to make it public? What are your thoughts there?
Sure. What I would do is get the foundation built first. Okay. And what I mean by that are all of the pages that you want. For instance, a contact page, an about page, whatever, you know, I'm not sure exactly what you're going to end up doing with this, but whatever types. And the best way to look at that is look at other people's sites. See what pages they have and be like, oh, okay, I need a, you know, work with me page, or I need a contact, you know, and this is how I want to set up. So totally utilize other people's stuff on the web and just look at the way that they've done it and see what works for you and what doesn't. So foundationally, definitely have your pages in order, like get your categories set up just so you'll be ready to use them. But as far as posts, I say with the first one, I mean, that's what better news to send out to Facebook and whomever else is like, hey, I just started my new blog. Go check it out. I'm so excited about it. You know, people reply, hey, awesome stuff. And that being said, I want to put a note in there that you should always have awesome content, because content is king, as they say. And if if everyone gets excited, oh, cool, Peter Scott has a new blog, and they go there and it's like, this is a sample post. Okay, am I ever really going to go back to that? Absolutely. I mean, I probably would because I'm friends with you. But most people out there would not. They don't care. But if they go and they're like, whoa, this guy is up to awesome stuff. He just got back from traveling all over Asia. That's so cool. Look at his photographs. That's amazing. I want to see what this guy's all about. They might become a follower of you and then continue. So that's really, I would say one post is enough, but definitely have that foundation of like kind of the build out of the site first. Okay.
That's it. I know that I know what I need to work on to start creating content and start marketing this thing.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, totally.
3 years in the making, and it took, I don't know, 30 minutes for you to get me up and running here.
Yeah, so let's just put a little challenge out there. Today is April 8th. When are you going to publicize your posts, your blog, send it out into the
Thank you for that accountability. I appreciate that. I will make a commitment to doing, let me think about this. I will say 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. I don't know what that date is exactly, but in 2 weeks on Monday, we'll check it out. So I'm super excited for that. I very much urge everybody watching this not only to try out your own site, but also to visit his, because he's got a lot of cool stuff to tell and to share. He's got a lot of knowledge. So that is it. If you have questions for either of us, let us know either in the comments below or on any of our contact pages, which you will soon have. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Mindie Kniss.
Thank you, guys.